Well, I have a slightly unique boast. My job is funded by the University of Wales, but I'm based in the National Library of Wales, and I've spent the last 3 years digitising lots of stuff that relates to the First World War in Wales. And we have a very large digital archive called Cymru1914.org, which is complete and accessible. It was funded by JISC, and it's 200,000 items from the archives and special collections of Wales that relate to the First World War. So things like the records of the Welsh Army Corps, letters, diaries, the war poets from Wales, all sorts of information in archival form, freely accessible and available to anybody. So now I'm going to spend the next 2 years getting people to use all that digital stuff in community-led research. And I have another project, and I have another prop, which is Wales at War, funded by the Heritage Lottery Fund, the Welsh Government Education Department, and also the Armed Forces Covenant. And this is developing a series of activities to support school children to develop biographies of the names on their local war memorials. And the project will develop an app that will direct students around all of the digital content that's available to them. So we're hoping that students and pupils can become digital historians. And we're working with community groups, we're working with schools. We have a number of pilot schools in the Cardiff area. And thanks to the funding from the HLF, we're able to turn this into a national project. So people will be going to their local war memorial, identifying someone they want to research. They'll find out where they lived, what their address was, where they served. There'll be a guide to the Welsh theatres of the war, telling people what happened where. The other thing about this project is it's not battlefield specific. One of our partners is the Royal Navy, so we'll be focusing on life in all the theatres of war, including at sea, as well as in the trenches and on the Western Front. And I'm here today supporting the AHRC Connected Communities Centre, because I'm a co-investigator on this at the centre that's based at Queen's University Belfast. They just brought me in specifically to do digital engagement work with the centre, and also to bring in some Welsh activities. So obviously, being based at the National Library, we have a lot of Welsh partners and communities that we're working with.
Okay, so I've got several questions that flow from that. Where did you get all of this stuff from? And how long did it take you to put it all together? And are you still bringing stuff into that digital archive?
The stuff comes from the Special Collections, Archives and Libraries of Wales. We had 9 partner organisations. A large amount of the collections come from the National Library of Wales, but we've also got stuff from Bangor University, Aberystwyth University, Swansea, Trinity St David's, as well as archives and local records offices around Wales. It was really great working with the local archives, because quite often these collections are hidden. They're unseen except by people who can physically get to a local records office and work their way through the content. So we've digitised about 10,000 items from local records offices.
So this is not coming in from the local communities per se. This is established collections which you're aggregating and digitising.
Some of that is, yes, but we also have we ran some community roadshows working with the People's Collection Wales. We had 6 of those, and we also got some really nice materials from the community, and they're part of this collection. Because what we wanted to do was try and identify the gaps in the established collections that could be filled by community materials. So we had a call for materials, and we got some amazing stuff. We got the archives of Mary Epine Phillips, who was one of the first Welsh doctors who worked in the Middle East during the First World War. Her family brought her materials along. And we also got something called the MI7B Propaganda Archive, which is really the shadowy archive of black propaganda developed during the war. So we put the community content together with the standard archival content. We are adding to it. The National Library is continuing to add content to the archive throughout the centenary, using its own funding. And I'm very much pursuing funding opportunities to work with other archives to add to the content. So it's very much a living archive, and I hope over the centenary it will grow.
And in terms of the outreach to places like schools and the kids out there, that's already started?
Yes, that's right. Yes, that started through the Wales at War project. We've got 9 pilot schools that we're working with around Wales, a combination of Welsh medium and English medium schools, and we've been working with pupils there. And even though we're just in the pilot stage, a group of pupils from St Cyrus School in Penarth have already done some wonderful biography work, which they actually presented at our launch to the First Minister on Friday, and it was really nice they had that opportunity. But it just goes to show the engagement with a local war memorial is so much more meaningful than even the engagement with a national war memorial, because it's people who lived in your house, it's people who worked with your relatives, and so it's amazing the work that they've done. The key thing about our project is it's bilingual, so everything has to be in Welsh and English, and that's something that we're very keen on promoting. So we have a large number of Welsh medium schools that we're working with.
And one other thing. The way that you describe what you're doing, somebody of my age is a digital immigrant, whereas most of the kids out there are digital natives. They breathe this stuff, so it's nothing new to them other than when they see that resource. Do you see a connection between the kids, when they see this digital material, then connecting back with the generation before, the parents of the people who were in the First World War, and sort of starting to bring those digital immigrants towards that digital repository?
Yeah, the project's very much focused on family learning, so we really, really hope that kids will work with their parents, their aunts, uncles, other members of their community on working with the project. Because it's HLF funded, we do have an awful lot of community engagement planned, which will bring in members of the community to work with the pupils and to look over their work and support them in developing the activity. But yes, I think that sort of family learning is really key, because you do sort of want families to sit around the iPad or the computer and see what the children have done and what the parents can find out. So yes, I think it's a good gateway for that.
Okay, so last question, which is the most obvious one. If anybody out there on the live stream wants to know more about what you're doing, where do they go?
They can certainly go to the Belfast, Queen's University Belfast Living Legacies Centre and find out about all these projects. But if they want to go specifically to these 2 projects, this one is walesatwar.org, all you people out there in TV land, and Cymru1914.org.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Lorna.
Don't even have to do HTTP.
Thank you very much, Lorna. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Okay.